Discussion about whether to vaccinate your children has been a very popular topic lately. Through rumor and lack of clinical research, vaccinations have caused suspicion for many years. But as technology has advanced, we are able to research more thoroughly the effects and applications of vaccinations. But even with all the factual evidence that has been provided that disproves most of the worries and concerns that people have about vaccinations, some people still choose to ignore this and vouch for a less reasonable approach. The truth is, ignoring the information that is clearly presented to you can be dangerous not only for your child, but for others as well. Through the information presented, I will provide factual evidence to support and the importance of vaccinations. First, I will explain how vaccinations react when introduced into the body. Most vaccinations contain small, harmless forms of DNA from the virus or a hand-made substance that is made to duplicate the effects of the virus. Whenever the vaccination enters the bloodstream, your immune system will begin to produce antibodies to fight against the foreign substance. A vaccination stimulates your immune system to produce antibodies exactly like it would if it were exposed to the disease, according to the CDC. This information the interaction between the virus and your immune system is beneficial because the antibodies are created to prepare your body to fight against the antigens of the disease that you may come into contact with later in life. A good reason to support vaccinations are looking at the disease, the decrease in death and illness they have caused. The varicella vaccine is a live vaccination used to prevent chickenpox. This is a two-step vaccine that will remain effective in the body for 10 to 20 years after it's first administered. The CDC reports from 1990 to 1996, an average of 103 deaths were reported each year. Since 1996, hospitalizations and deaths from chickenpox have declined more than 70%. Another great example of the effectiveness of vaccines is the result of the MMR vaccine, which protects from measles, mumps, and rubella. MMR is a live virus vaccination that is administered in 2 steps. This vaccine does become increasingly less effective over time and provides protection even when coming closely in contact with these viruses. Another statistic from the CDC says measles vaccinations resulted in an 80% drop in measles deaths between 2000 and 2007 worldwide. Another vaccination that is growing in importance is the Gardasil vaccine. This is a 2-step or 3-step vaccination depending on what age it is administered at that prevents boys and girls from contracting the different strains of HPV. Gardasil is a biosynthetic vaccination, so it uses man-made substances to replace the effects of the virus to trigger an immune response. When tested in girls that had not yet been exposed to HPV type 6, 11, 16, and 18, Gardasil is 100% in preventing infection. There are 3 different HPV vaccinations that cover a wide range of the strains of HPV that can be contracted. In conclusion, there is a lot of evidence in the world now that supports and confirms that vaccinations are in fact safe. Though some of the side effects due to the immune response of vaccinations may lead people to believe that they are unsafe, we now know that most reactions due to vaccines are completely normal. Whenever the decisions you make affect you and others, it is important to make sure that you know all that you can about the topic. With all the research that supports the use of vaccination, I can safely say that I support vaccinations and hope that you do too.